Coming up on the Paper Talk today, we'll be looking at Scott McTominay. He could be going somewhere in January. Apparently, he almost went to Turkey in the summer, and he's had a little bit of a bust-up with Bruno Fernandes, so we'll be looking at that. Also, Erik Ten Hag's agent is involved in transfer negotiations. Shock, horror. Let's find out just what is going on. Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and it's absolutely roasting. It's barbecue weather. It's typical Mancunian weather that we all love. Right, loads of stories to get through, so we'll crack on. First of all, there's a report here in the Manchester Evening News, but it's actually come via Fichajes, you know the one, the Spanish outlet. It says here that David De Gea is being targeted by Real Betis. It's a little bit mad that David De Gea still hasn't got a club. He was linked briefly with Real Madrid as a possible stopgap when they lost Courtois, but that's not materialised, obviously. He's still a free agent. Now it looks like Real Betis could be in for him. There was a little bit of a debate going on the other day about Andre Onana and whether we brought him in too soon and we should have kept David De Gea. I don't know about that one myself. I think Andre Onana's doing a good job, and I also think we needed him. But yeah, David De Gea still without a club, could be going to Real Betis if anyone actually cares. I know he's technically not still a Manchester United player, but it is of interest, isn't it? Also, just on potential outgoings, this is a bit of a funny one, so I'll explain it. Fenerbahce considered Scott McTominay's swoop. This is via Sports Witness, and it's in the Manchester Evening News again. And this is saying that Fenerbahce made a last gasp attempt to sign Scott McTominay this summer. There's also another report on Scott McTominay, which I had yesterday, but it's sort of been reiterated today, that Bayern Munich could be looking at him in January. There's talk of them going in for Paulinho again from Fulham, but if they don't get him, then they could turn their attention to Scott McTominay. So he does have suitors, it would seem. Fenerbahce were interested in him. Bayern Munich could be interested in him. Are Manchester United is still interested in him, though? Does Erik Ten Hag want to keep him? I've got another Scott McTominay story that I'll get to in a minute, which would indicate that maybe all is not rosy with Scott at the club at the minute. In potential incomings here, there's a report here again from Fichajes. They're doing their getting their money's worth, aren't they? It says here United have already picked out 2 prime targets for the January window, and it says Bayern Munich winger Serge Gnabry and Atletico Madrid's Jose Maria Jimenez are the 2 names that are being linked. It says here that there's an article that suggests United are ready to pay around 52 million for the Bayern Munich winger, and then also interested in centre-back Jimenez, however you pronounce it. We'll wait and see with that one. It sounds a little bit doubtful whether we're going to have any money in January to splash the cash, but you never know. Also as well, where would we be without a transfer rumour centred around a Dutch... oh, sorry, no, not Dutch. Forgive me, getting that all wrong. It's Belgian. I saw the name and I thought it was Dutch, so apologies to both our Belgium and our Dutch viewers. There's a report here from Sport that claims Erik Ten Hag is tracking Royal Antwerp midfielder Arthur Vermeeren ahead of a possible future move. This is an 18-year-old kid who's due to face Barcelona on Tuesday in the Champions League. The Belgium under-21s international has already tallied 2 assists in 9 games, the same amount he recorded last term in 40 matches, so he's doing all right. Apparently he's a target, someone we're monitoring. We'll have a look at that one and see if anything comes of it. Just on other stories as well, there's a report here in the Daily Mirror, I've seen it in the Evening News, I've seen it in other newspapers, about a bit of a bust-up following the Brighton game. Apparently it says here that Scott McTominay and Bruno Fernandes were at loggerheads in the Manchester United dressing room after a bit of a bus-stop. A bus-stop even, not a bus-stop. A bus-stop's where you catch a bus, not a bus-stop. Yeah, they had a bit of a bust-up. Also, apparently, Lisandro Martinez and Victor Lindelof did as well. It depends how you view that, doesn't it? I mean, listen, you always have a little bit of arguing, don't you, after a defeat in dressing rooms? I don't think there's anything earth-shattering about that. It depends on the nature of it, how sort of angry they were and whether it escalated or anything like that, or if it was just a bit of a row. Then that is absolutely nothing new. You see it in changing rooms all the time. So we'll have to see if anything comes of that. I think it's a bit of a storm in a teacup, that one, but a lot of the newspapers are covering it as well. Another story that seems a little bit bizarre. This is in the Daily Mail. Man United staff concerned by the influence of Erik Ten Hag's agent Kees Vos over transfers, with his agency behind Rasmus Højlund and Sofyan Amrabat moves. And this is just saying that United staff have expressed concerns about the growing involvement of Ten Hag's agent in transfer activity at Old Trafford, because it says here, Mail Sport can reveal that Vossi Sports Entertainment Group have become the go-to agency in negotiating player signings and sales for United, as well as providing informal advice on the transfer market. I mean, they were involved in negotiations for Sofian Amrabat and also for Rasmus Højlund and Zidane Iqbal going to Utrecht as well. I mean, that to me stinks of a non-story there. It's not like we went out and got Højlund just because Ten Hag knows the agent. It's like, I don't want him, but because I know the agent, then we'll get him. Or that the club don't have a say in what goes on when it comes to agents and players and things like that. It just seems a little bit of a non-story, and it seems like another negative story to pile on the absolute plethora of negative stories we've got about Manchester United at the minute. It's just all doom and gloom, innit? It's all injuries, it's players who aren't available for different reasons, it's players having a round the dressing room, it's transfers that are only happening because the manager knows the agent involved. It's just a load of guff at the minute, innit? And don't worry, everything's going to be alright when we turn over Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. That'll put a smile back on our faces, eh? It reminds me I need to go and take my tablets. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to be back later on. You're going to have Joe and Adam McCullough doing Uncensored. Joe's back from his halls and we've missed him, believe me. So we're going to be back. So make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that. I've been Jay Motti outside a sunny Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.